So welcome back everybody to Decision Time. I'm Jacob, joined with Ben and the new Unified Middleweight Champion of Canada and the world, Hunter Lee. Welcome back, Hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
yeah.
thank you for
Of
having me.
course, man, of
Course.
course. I'll throw it to Ben to ask you our first question.
All right. We've had, since we last talked, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for you, with your win, Chris Chu, your minor setback with Sergeev, which, maybe a robbery, but whatever. And then back-to-back finishes, and now you're the champion. How would you describe your, last half of the year?
It's been fun. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Yeah, the Maxim Sergiev fight really showed me like don't let it go to a decision because I thought I did enough to win that fight, but yeah, kind of showed me don't try to win a decision. Just look to put them away because then there's no doubt in anyone's mind. So that's what I've been doing.
And that loss obviously was tough. Do you feel like you've over the last year and since we last interviewed you, do you think you've evolved more as a fighter or a person?
Uh, Yeah, I think they go hand in hand a lot of times. Yeah, I think I've evolved a lot as a fighter. Just like adding a bunch of different layers to my game. Like I was saying, adding a lot of finishes on the ground, on the feet. Like I'm submitting people when we do jujitsu more often, and I'm finding better positions to land strikes from on the feet. So yeah, I think I've evolved a lot as a fighter.
Would you say it was something to do with like, is there a mentality aspect at all, or is it kind of just like a thing you take on the chin and move on from there?
It's I kind of just took it on the chin and just like kept moving forward because I think it might be different if you get stopped, but if you have like a decision that you felt like you won, it's kind of it did I didn't feel like I lost. Like it kind of sucked afterwards just being like, "Ah, that sucks that I didn't get the nod," but I didn't feel like beaten. I didn't feel like he was any better than me, so it didn't slow me down at all. If anything, I just was like, "Okay, I got to put people away and make it no doubt in anyone's mind." That's like the main thing. And then also I decided I had to commit to the weight class because I was kind of shifting between each weight class. So I initially was going to go
Mhm.
down to 170. That one got canceled, and I was like, I'm just going to stay at 185 and just try to like fill out my frame at 185, which is what I did in the last one. Usually I was sitting at like I would get in the cage sometimes 195 pounds at 185. This time I got in there at 205, and I'd like to get in there at like 210 eventually.
Your wrestling has always been one of your strong suits throughout your entire life. You're a highly regarded wrestler, but in your last couple of fights, I've really noticed your improvement in your boxing and your ability to close the distance and stay calm in the pocket. Is that something you're putting in extra hours at the gym?
Yeah, I try to get a lot of like boxing in as well. Like it boxing specific training in. You do a lot of MMA, Muay Thai, that kind of stuff. It's a different range. You get into boxing range a little bit there, but it's such a big advantage to be able to focus on that boxing range for like an hour at a time,
Mm.
just doing specific boxing practice. So I've been doing a little bit of that, and the other thing that I've done that really like improved my striking is just being able to mix up the striking with my wrestling. That's what I did wrong in the Sergiev fight in the first two rounds, is I got a little too comfortable striking with him, and I was like, okay, I can hang on the feet with him. I don't necessarily need to take him down. So I was just not really threatening the takedown, and that's where guys that are good strikers can really like get to work. Whereas if like in my last fight, I was constantly threatening the takedown, constantly threatening the overhand when he would bite on the takedown, and then it was freezing him. He didn't know what to deal with, and that's where I can really take advantage of guys in the striking when they're scared of the takedown.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're big, like obviously you're a great wrestler and you have like great cardio. I was gonna ask about since we talked like with your fight with Chris Chu, you have fought I don't know if you know this, but you fought on average every 76 days. So about every 2 months, you're getting in there. How are
Yeah.
you able to keep this crazy activity up? Is it just a hunger or is it crazy cardio from the wrestling background?
I think it does come from the wrestling background. Like in wrestling season, you're competing every weekend, multiple times a weekend. I remember when I was in season, our busy time of the year, we would have between 6 to 8 weekends in a row where we would do tournaments. And in those tournaments, you're competing between 3 to 5 times. So over the course of like 2 months, I'm getting in, I don't even know how many competitions there's a lot of competitions. Um, so I'm just kind of used to being active. Yeah, I don't understand how guys can, unless you're in the UFC and you're making like a massive paycheck, and you're just like, I'm gonna go enjoy life for a little bit. I don't understand how guys can go like one fight in a year, two fights in a year, and like just
Yeah.
relax for the rest of the year. I'm always in the gym, like even no like for the next one, I probably won't be back till early June, just because the 5 rounders do take a little bit more out of you, and I still would like to get 3 fights in this year. But yeah, it's a little bit longer than what I've been doing. I think that's 3 months in between instead of the 2 months. But yeah, even with that, I'm like already back in the gym, like less than a week after my competition. Like I just get bored if I'm not going to the gym at all. Some guys they say they take like months off of the gym, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
Looking back at your last fight, I mean, it was a dominant performance like throughout the entire fight. But what was one thing you wish you maybe did a little bit differently, or something you want to improve in your next one?
Oh, checking the leg kicks. So I was checking them the way you would traditionally check leg kicks, but he was only throwing calf kicks. So it was still stinging, but it wasn't hurting as bad as if I were just like taking them. But yeah, like the traditional check, you like lift your leg up, right?
Hmm.
But they still kick your calf if they go low. So just like I know how to check a calf kick, but we just weren't sure where he was going to put it, whether he was going to mix it up or not. So we just kind of had game plan, just lift the leg and try to counter him on it. But yeah, just like my leg was messed up for like it's just starting to be like able to be walked on normally and stuff. So yeah, just fixing that. The difference between checking like a thigh kick and the difference between checking a calf kick, you need to like actually deal with them separately rather than just like lift the leg and check it traditionally.
Hmm.
That's the only thing that I could say about my performance that I didn't that I could like improve on, in my opinion. Like everything else went like dead on, like exactly how we game planned it.
Fair enough. Also, you mentioned you were thinking about getting in around June or so. There is an event on June 12th in Edmonton. Are you thinking that's where you want to be? And if so, do you have like negotiations with an opponent, or is it just like you want to be on that card against someone?
Yeah, so that's the card I've heard that they're planning to have me on. I haven't got word of an official opponent. I've heard some names getting thrown around. I've heard a couple guys from down in the States getting thrown around. I know people want to see me versus Jordan Mean. If he doesn't go to the UFC, I think that could be a fun fight. Like I said, I'm kind of like game for whoever they want to put in front of me. I'm the champ, so like if someone wants it, they can call me out, and if nobody wants it, then Unified will tell whoever they want to go in there.
And you just said you are the champ now. How did it feel like receiving that belt and like hearing your name as the and new champion of the middleweight division? How did that like what was going through your head in that moment?
Relief. Like I watched the fight on Unified Plus afterwards, and Tanner Bozer's commentary. He said exactly that. He said he's feeling not like joy, not happiness. He's like it's only relief in this moment. And I'm like that's exactly the feeling. Like he nailed it. You just because going into it, we game planned super hard. I have like tons of notes on the guy and everything. I knew exactly what he was going to do, and then he came out and did all that. And so going into the fight, I'm like, I know this is my fight to win. As long as I just follow everything exactly how I plan to, but like it's a fight and it's chaotic and you never know how it's gonna go. So yeah, it's mostly just relief on my end of being like, okay, exactly what I thought was gonna happen happened and nothing crazy went wrong. So yeah, that's kind
Mm,
of what I'm feeling.
that's awesome.
Uh, you were talking about your game plan. I saw like recently you've been training with some guys at TriStar every now and then. In what ways have they like helped improve your game, and how much do you plan training with maybe other gyms in Canada, like maybe a Niagara Top team or other teams like that?
Yeah, I like to travel around and train as much as I can. I went out to Calgary and I was training with David Titarenko before the TriStar as well. He fought on that card. He's really good coming up.
Hmm.
Yeah, the TriStar was really helpful. They always have really good guys there. And my one of the guys that I was getting a lot of work in was with Johan. And Johan fought Pattershuk less than a year ago, I believe, and he knocked him out. And he basically
Mm.
gave me his game plan that he was following when he went in there. And it matched up very similar to what the things I was seeing was. And so, yeah, we kind of just like talked it over. And I worked with some of the coaches there that had helped Johan get prepared for that fight. So it was nice to be able to build on like a previous game plan that has already worked against the guy.
And I believe you and Pattershuk had a little bit of online beef and kind of were going back and forth. Did this fight feel a little bit more like personal, like you almost had like a vendetta against them, or was it just kind of business as always, trying to build some hype around it?
No, it's kind of just build the hype. Back in the day, I was definitely like, yeah, I don't know. I only called out guys that seemed good, and he kind of was like brushing me off back in the day. So we finished off our conversation back then with me just saying, "Okay, I'll see you in the cage eventually," and that's exactly what happened. So whenever I'm in that position, it's always in the back of my head, just going like, "Okay, well, like, I don't know, just." I talk so much trash that it's like, okay, well, I guess I gotta like kind of deal with it now and see what happens. Like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I put myself in that situation, so I gotta be able to back myself up.
Do you think there's any other ghosts from your past that are trying to get back at you?
I hope so. A lot of those guys I called out, I think it'd be an easy matchup now. Some of those
Oh,
guys.
especially, I mean, I remember back in summer, you're supposed to fight Anthony Ivy, and that guy, oof, he is falling off.
I haven't even been keeping up with what he's been up to. I heard he was like in the PFL possibly, and then that's the
Yeah,
last I've heard.
he got smoked there.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask, you were talking about wanting to get one or two more fights in, and when we last talked, you're hoping to be 7-0 with two belts. In reality, now you're 6-1, arguably 7-0, but with one belt. How much more do you think you'll need, to get that call from the DWCS? Like, how much more do you think you need to do?
It depends who my opponents are. Like, if they set up the Jordan Mean fight, that should fast track me. Like, I think a win over Jordan Mean with the guys that I've already beaten should put me in there right away. Um, my kind of game plan is I would like to fight twice this year in Unified and then go Contender Series after that. But we'll see what kind of gets offered. Um, we're really pushing for the Unified Saskatoon card to come through here in the fall, and I've heard some talkings about possibly doing that. So hopefully we can get that set up, and I can be on that. That's kind of like what I'm focused on right now. Is I want to defend it at home before getting to the UFC. That's my big goal right now.
I saw you hyping that up on your Instagram. How much would that mean to you to get a unified Saskatoon card and fight in front of like your friends and family and stuff?
Yeah, it'd be massive. Like we don't have anything like that in Saskatchewan in general. The
Mhm.
last card we've had was 2019, I believe. And it was nothing like the production value that like Unified brings. They'll come in and drop a lot of money on making sure everything looks really nice, and we'll definitely sell it out here because I'll headline it, and then we got a bunch of other Saskatchewan guys that they can fill up the undercard with. Like they got like Lorenzo Celis out in Regina. He's a good pro. David Titarenko, he's a Calgary guy, but he went to high school in Saskatoon and lived here for a little bit, so he
Mhm.
would sell a bunch of tickets as well. We got a ton of amateur guys at our gym. Some guys that could even be potentially pro fighters by then if it ends up being in the fall. So we got a ton of guys that would fill up the card.
Would you rather a fight card in Saskatchewan, in Saskatoon, or in Manitoba?
Saskatchewan. That's where I live now, and
Mhm.
All
even
right.
so like I'm from Manitoba originally, but we're a border town. When I wrestled in high school, we were part of the Saskatchewan High School Wrestling League because we're
Okay.
on the border.
It's close
Um,
enough.
Yeah, and then our hockey team is also Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Like our sports are very split between Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Saskatoon is also closer to Flin Flon than Winnipeg is. So
Yeah.
Saskatoon is 6 hours away from my hometown, and Winnipeg is 8 hours. So even though they're in Manitoba, technically, they're a lot closer to the stuff if it's in Saskatoon. So that's the way I see it. And also, I live here now for the last like
Yeah.
7 years. So a lot of people would come out for that as well.
It's sick. It was really cool to see you win that belt. It was awesome to see you after. Your legs are doing a lot better. You said that. I saw you limping a little bit after the fight.
Yeah, yeah,
Doing a lot healthier now.
yeah. They're all good now.
I was wondering, how much are you thinking about? So you did say that you're pretty set on no more welterweight. You're done for that. But how much are you thinking about bouncing around between middleweight and light heavyweight still?
I think middleweight is where I'm going to try to be at. Those light heavyweight guys are big.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It's tempting, but I'll have to watch they're having the light heavyweight belt on the line on the next unified card, and I'll have to
Mhm.
watch that fight. But those guys are. I don't want to get. I think I could get the win against them, but I don't want to get hit by them. It's gonna
Oh
suck,
yeah.
you know.
I mean,
Like
yeah, we interviewed Jake Craig a few months ago, and that's a big guy.
yeah. And speaking of like call outs from the past, we actually went back and forth a little bit early in our career as well. Um,
Oh,
Try not to rehash it too much because he got a little bit upset when we were going back and forth. I thought we were doing like build the fight type of trash talk, so
Yeah.
I could tell the story. Essentially, we had talked, we had messaged each other about fighting because neither of us were able to get an opponent for a little while there, and then whatever ended up happening, I think we kind of got fights and or no, we talked about getting a fight together, and he said if we do get a fight booked, I'm gonna talk some trash to build it up. And I was like, yeah, no problem. We'll make it work. We'll sell some tickets. And then 6 months went by. It was like way in the past, and we never ended up getting the fight booked. And he commented on one of my things, and I thought it was a sarcastic comment. I said I was going down to 170 pounds, and he said getting big or whatever. And I thought it was sarcastic, and apparently he says it wasn't sarcastic. But that started me being like, oh, he's starting the trash talk now. He wants to try to build the fight because he had said that he was down to play that game back 6 months ago. And so we kind of went back and forth on the trash talk, and it was getting a little heated. And it ended up with him like messaging me in my DMs and saying saying I'm gonna kick your ass or whatever. And I was like, yeah, let's do it on this date. And he was like, no, I'm gonna find you in person. I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. And I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And then he was like, some people like he was like mad about it. And I was like, oh man, I thought we were just building the fight. And he's like, no, we're not. So, yeah, so we got a little heated there. We never really resolved it, and we never ended up fighting. And yeah, I'm happy to stay at middleweight. I don't really particularly want to get hit by him, but
yeah.
if we were to get matched up, I think I could out wrestle him. But I'm not going to call for that fight. I don't. It doesn't look fun to fight him.
No, no. Hey, Battle of the West though. Battle of the West though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like would you want to fight for that double belt though? Like if that was offered, if that contract was offered to you, is that something you would want to accomplish? Be the first ever double champ at Unified?
Potentially, I could see that. Yeah, I'm all about making the big fights. So like I'd said previously, I've been asked about like me versus the 170-pound champ. End up being Bobby Poulter. I'd said if Simon Marcus would have won the belt, I would call him out to come 185 because he fought his whole career at 185. But with Bobby, he's never really fought at 185, so I'm not going to call for that fight. I'd offered publicly that if he ever wanted to challenge for it, I would do like a catch weight bout, meet in the middle kind of thing. I would drop a
Mhm.
little extra weight. He could come in a little bit heavy. 205, I would have to think about. I would have to fill out 185 first, and then see if I want to go up to 205. And it also depends if I'll have to watch the fight on the weekend. If these guys are getting brutally knocked out on the weekend, then
Might have to
maybe I
pass
won't
on
go up to
that.
205.
You said Simon Marcus. I mean, he's real nice. He's a good kickboxer. I mean, he's a bit older, so maybe he'll try and move back up. How do you think you'd match up against a kickboxer like that?
Yeah, I love that fight. I've been calling for Simon Marcus for a few years. He since we were both 1-0, I think I've been calling for it. I was saying
Oh,
I'm the best wrestler in Canadian MMA. He's the best kickboxer in Canadian MMA. Like that's the perfect matchup. I think he's been avoiding me and kind of smartly avoiding me. I think it's a bad matchup. Like just traditional striker versus grappler. Grappler usually wins. Um, but yeah, I would love that matchup.
how have things been for you, Hunter, in your last few months?
They've been good. Yeah, I travel around quite a bit for the fight stuff, so that's kind of fun. Now I got a little bit of downtime, which, like you said, I don't usually get. I usually am right back in fight camp, so I got like a few weeks where I can kind of relax before getting into like the hard training.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's been great.
Actually, there was one more I want to ask, a little bit of a fun question for you. If there was one MMA fighter in like the history of MMA that you could fight, UFC, Unified, whatever, if there was one fighter you could fight, who would you call out in their prime?
Hmm. The first name that comes to mind is like GSP, just because I think he's like the best of all time, but he's
Hmm.
also like my favorite fighter of all time. So I don't know if I would actually want to fight him,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
just in terms of like testing my skill, I think that's the best opponent. Someone I would like actually want to fight though. Um, who's some like traditional middleweight? I think Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. I think something like that
Okay.
would be cool. Because I enjoyed watching them, but they're not like my favorite fighters necessarily. But I think
Hmm.
those would be interesting fights.
Oh yeah, I would even love to see like you and a traditional wrestler like Bo Nickel.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Big personalities. That would be a fun one too, eh?
Mm.
Yeah,
Have you seen this upcoming UFC card that's in Canada? What are your thoughts on that card?
yeah, they got some good Canadians on there. I'm excited to see it. I might make the trip down and watch it. It's just in Winnipeg. I haven't really decided yet. I know I'm excited for obviously like Mike Malott. I think he'll get the win
Mhm.
there. I've seen some
Hmm.
other Canadians kind of getting announced on there. Do they bring Tanner Bozer back for that one?
Bozer's
Yeah,
in it, yeah.
Who else?
yeah.
I saw Mandel Nallo from
Yep,
TriStar.
yep.
I'm a big fan of his fight style. He should go on a big knockout streak, I think.
Oh yeah.
Who else did they announce for that one? They got a bunch of Canadians on there.
Y- You got Mike, you got Jasmine, you got
Jasmine, yeah.
Melissa Croden from Toronto, Jamie Lynn Horth.
Oh yeah,
A bunch of nice names, bunch of nice names. Do you think
yeah.
you'll want to call someone out, be like, "Hey, I'm in the crowd, come and get me"?
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I feel like a lot of Canadians will just be there. So if any or Canadian fighters will be there, I mean, so like if anyone drops out, I'm sure they won't have a problem like filling the names in.
Hey, unified champion, you never know.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
never know.
might get that call.
Yeah, we'll see. They're coming to Canada a lot more, so it's good
Oh yeah.
to build up that name in Unified or one of these big Canadian organizations because they kind of just pull guys from wherever they're going to. It seems like.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm out of questions for you. I don't know if
Yeah.
Ben has any more.
I'm all wrapped up. This has been a lovely interview. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
yeah, of course, man. Thank you, as always, for messaging us back and hopping on for 20 minutes or whatever. We
Yeah, no
appreciate your
problem.
time and everything.
Congrats on the
And
championship, by the way.
yes,
Yeah, thank you.
congratulations. And well, we will hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All
See you
right, have a
guys.
good
Have a
night,
good
man.
one.
Have a
Yeah,
good
you
night.
too.